Welcome into sportsbookreview.com. My name is Christopher Giannini, and this is the week number 4 NCAA college football big game preview show. I appreciate you joining me tonight. We're going to talk about 5 of the biggest games happening this weekend. We're going to hit on 5 rapid-fire games, and then I am going to try and drag my big ass out of the cellar with 5 gambling picks. I know last week I went 1-4. The only one I won was one where I stepped in front of a freight train, but that's all right. I won it. I got 1. I didn't get blanked. This week, we're going to turn it around. I just can feel it. Before we get going, let me tell you, sportsbookreview.com is your number 1 stop for all of your gambling needs. Go there. If you got any questions, you're looking for a sports book to play at, go on there. They've got reviews for everything. They've got pros and cons on all of them. They got promo codes for all of them. If you want to find your odds, this is my favorite thing about this website. I get to go there. I get to hit the odds button. I click NCAAF, and then you just have a grid of every game out there, and it shows you all the different odds from all the different sports books around, and you can shop for lines without clicking all over the internet. So do that. Go there. They take care of you better than anybody else. They're there strictly for gamblers. We're gamblers. If you're here watching the show, that's what you're doing. Let's get into these games. One of my favorite games of the year on the slate for the season, Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, going to Chicago, a very Catholic Notre Dame pro city. But it's the heart of the Midwest. It's the soul of the Midwest. And another great Midwestern team just a little bit away from Chicago, Wisconsin. They're going to play this game in Soldier Field. It's going to be unbelievable. The weather of Chicago is between 52 and 70 degrees. It is a perfect fall day for football. If you are in Chicago and you are not out and about tailgating around Soldier Field and trying to find your way into this place, you should be condemned for being crazy, because it's going to be where you want to go. I can't believe I'm not there. I said this the other day during the opening line show. This is my fault. This is a huge mistake on me. But you don't want to hear about all that. You want to get into the game. We got Jack Cohn playing his old team. Jack Cohn's a transfer from Wisconsin, going to Notre Dame. Brian Kelly finally getting things a little rolling here. Beat up on Purdue. Purdue's not very good. We all think Wisconsin's a lot better than Wisconsin. 2 weeks to prepare for this football game. Maybe that's why the number is what it is. I don't know. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game than maybe the books say. It's a pretty small total. Wisconsin right now is laying 6.5. I think that's a lot of points, guys. I think this is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, and I think it could be a one-score game, and 7 gets you over that, but all the other numbers get you under it. All right, I like the under in this game more than anything else. The total is 47. I think both teams want to run the football. Both teams want to play hard-nosed defense. I think that brings itself to a lower scoring game. I don't think Brian Kelly wants to put his old quarterback out there against his old team where he can make mistakes and maybe get in his head a little bit and get those guys chirping at him. I think he's going to be a little bit reserved. I think he's going to play this game close to the vest. I know for a fact Wisconsin's going to play the game close to the vest because that's how they play football. They don't take chances. They don't throw the ball deep. When they get down in games and they have to make big plays stretching the field, they tend to turn the ball over, so they don't want to do that, and they don't want to find themselves in the spot. I think we're going to have a low-scoring, close affair. Give me the points if I've got to make a pick on the side, and I am going to like the under as well. We're going to move on. This is one of the most exciting games of the weekend. Arlington, Texas. Texas A&M coming in to play Arkansas Razorbacks. It's in Jerry World. Jerry is an alumni of the University of Arkansas. He loves the state of Texas. He brings a team in from Texas every couple of years to play his old team, and it's going to be exciting. Here's the matchups we got to watch in this game. So first off, both these teams, talked about it in the opening line show. If you didn't watch that, you can go back and listen to it. I'll give you a little brief spiel now. They play nobodies week 1. Okay, or not week 1, last week. Last week they didn't play anybody. Okay, they both got healthy. Both these quarterbacks kind of were having a slow start to the season. They were struggling a little bit to kind of find their way. And last week they both got healthy. They both got fed. They both got a little bit of confidence, and I think that's a good thing going into this matchup. Here's where this game is going to be won and lost. It's not the matchup of the Billies and the Joes on the field. It's the gentlemen calling the X's and O's in the booth and on the sidelines. Let me tell you about these guys. You're going to have Mike Elko, one of the best defensive coordinators in college football today for Texas A&M, going head-to-head against Kendall Briles, one of the most innovative and creative and also aggressive play callers in college football. Should be an outstanding matchup. Elko has the edge and experience and age and wisdom, but sometimes that young and just innovative and maybe sometimes a little reckless, but you know, if you ain't loose, you ain't fast, and that's just the way it's going to be for Arkansas. I don't know who I like in that edge. I do like the other side for Texas A&M, though. You've got Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo is one of the best play callers in the game. He is an architect of offenses. He knows what he's doing. He knows what his players are capable of. He puts them in situations to win all the time. And he just tends to get more out of lesser talent than most coaches. I think that's a big deal. Going up against Barry Odom, I like the hell out of Barry Odom. I think Barry Odom was a good head coach. I know Barry Odom's an outstanding defensive coordinator. I think I'm still going to give this edge to Jimbo, and I don't think this one's close, by the way. I like Jimbo Fisher. Now, you say, that seems like you're leaning A&M. Here's the problem. The ultimate equalizer in this is the point spread. Texas A&M's been playing a lot of close games when they listen. They struggled to get through Colorado. I know they lost a quarterback in the middle of it. I think they're going to be better. I think they're going to be okay. I'm trying to get some of my notes here. They're going to lean on Isaiah Spiller. That's just their guy. He's the best player on their team, and he's one of the best players in the country. Zach Calzada. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. Zach Calzada. Getting better, okay? He was thrown into the Colorado game. No preparation, didn't know he was going to play. Injury, get in there, mix it up. Didn't play well, but played good enough to get the win at the very end. I think Arkansas is going to give him some problems. I think they're going to struggle a little bit maybe to score. They need to bottle up Isaiah if they want to stay in this game, or it's going to get loose on them. I think I like Arkansas, and I like the points. This is one of those where I think A&M wins the game. I think I'd like Arkansas in the points. I don't normally like taking the dog if I don't think the dog can win the game. But here's the thing. I didn't say they couldn't win the game. I think they can. I don't know that they will. That's why you got the 5.5-point head start. Total, 47.5 on this one. I would rather this go over. I think it would be more fun to watch. I like both of these offensive coordinators, and I think we're going to get a little bit of points on the board. This is not going to be a 60-something point game, I don't think, but I like it to go over the 47.5. Moving on, we're going to Virginia. Wake Forest going to Virginia on the road. Wake Forest coming off of a big win against Florida State, and they're a bad Florida State football team. Wake Forest looked really good. Sam Hartman looked really good. He's one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league. He 22 of 31 for 500. That's the next guy. 259 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pretty special game. This is about what I expect from Wake Forest, okay? They're going to score. They're really good on offense. Their defense is opportunistic, and they just try to contain you as best they can. Virginia, on the other hand, might have found them a quarterback. Brendan Armstrong was 39, let the cat out of the bag earlier, 39 of 54 for 554 yards against North Carolina. I think, I don't know this, but I think North Carolina's defense might be quite a bit better than I would assume Wake Forest's is. I could be wrong on that, all right? I just might be dead ass wrong on it. But 4 touchdowns. Holy crap. They had 2 receivers. When you throw for 550-something yards, you're going to have multiple receivers go over 100 yards. 2 receivers go over 100 yards. You're going to have to watch out for them. Dontavion Wicks, I'm pretty sure I said that right. He went over 100 yards. Billy Kemp, the 4th, went over 100 yards. These guys are going to be tough to contain. This number, Virginia Tech at home. This is one of those weeknight games, Friday night. I don't know if you're going to get it or not. I don't know if this is an ESPN game or if it's on the ACC network. We'll just have to see. I don't even know if I get the ACC network. It's one of those things that makes me mad about my TV subscription. Anyway, Virginia laying 4, total 68.5. Holy cow. All right. I think there's going to be some points scored here. I don't know that we're hitting 70, okay? I'm staying as far away from the total as I can. I think I like Virginia in this matchup. I think they got a quarterback. I think they're going to score. This could be last team with the ball wins, but I don't know, man. I think Bronco Mendenhall can figure something out defensively to get a stop or two and just keep us steady and just win the game. Win the game. I think you cover the line. It's only 4. I like it. Last big game I've got. Nope. 1, 2, 3. Second to last big game. I miscounted. Tennessee Volunteers are going to the Florida Gators. Now, Florida put on a hell of a show last week against Alabama, and I think they did everything they were supposed to do to win the football game. They didn't win the football game. We're not getting into that. But Florida's a really good football team. My favorite player to watch for Florida didn't play in a single snap. Anthony Richardson has been kind of relieving Emory Jones a lot for quarterback. They've basically been kind of running a little 2-quarterback special. They've got some plays for him. I think he's a special player. I think he's a dynamic player. He was hurt. He was cleared for the Bama game, but they said he wasn't 100%. If he's not 100%, we're not going to play him unless we have to have him. Don't know that he would have made a difference or not. I'm curious, will he get time in this game, or are they going to just go forward with Emory Jones and make sure he gets the confidence that he needs? These two teams hate each other. For people outside of the South that don't know this, Florida-Tennessee is a rivalry, and it's not like every SEC team kind of hates everybody else, all right? This is a real rivalry. There's a lot of hatred here. It's just been one-sided for a while because Tennessee's been down. Tennessee's been bad. Josh Heupel is scoring a lot of points these days. And one of the things that I used to talk to friends about and I still believe this to be true, you can't always win a lot of games just playing all offense and no defense, okay? That's hard to do. But you can cover a lot of numbers. You can make your fans happier because it's hard to blow somebody out when you're hanging big numbers on offense up. This is a 20-point line. It's 20. I think that's a lot of points. I think that's far too many points. I trust Tennessee. I love Hendon Hooker is unbelievable to watch. Now, he's not the best quarterback in college football. Don't get me wrong. This is not Matt Corral unbelievable. Just his physical stature, the way the definition of his arms and body look in the uniform, he just wears it better than anybody in college football right now today. If you needed somebody to model a uniform, this is who you call. And you say, put this on, we're going to take a bunch of pictures of you. But he's not just a pretty face in a great uniform. This guy can play football, okay? He's a real good quarterback. I think Heupel, it's going to take him a little bit to get together. Give him and Heupel a couple of years, and let's see how this thing cooks. I just need him to keep it close. I just need him to keep scoring, guys. I don't think Florida's defense is unbelievable. Now, their front is good, and they're going to shut down the run, and Tennessee hasn't been able to run the football very well at all this year. I don't know that matters. It's not what Heupel wants to do. They want to throw the football. Their run game will become a short passing game. It's what they do. It's what they're comfortable doing. Will it lead to a win? I don't think Tennessee can beat Florida. I just don't. But can they keep it within 20 points? That's where I got to go, guys. That's where I got to go. The total in this is 63. It's a big number. If you made me pick a side on the total, I would go over. I'm going to stay away from it. It's too many points. Now, last game of the big game previews. We got a battle of Texas here. We got Texas Tech going to the University of Texas, going to Austin. And the Texas Tech Red Raiders have found themselves a quarterback. Okay. Tyler Show is last week. Now, they played FIU. Not good. This guy's been consistent all year. They play a nobody week 2. They play Houston week 1. They beat Houston. He plays pretty well. Terrible start to that game. Just disastrous first quarter. Well, first quarter, he didn't touch the field. Second quarter, I think he took like 4 snaps in the first quarter. Second quarter, he touched the field a lot, and he started getting things going. Second half, he took over the game, and they won the game. Unbelievable what I think he's done. I think he's pretty good. Last weekend, against FIU, 26 of 35 for just under 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Every 100 yards, they get a touchdown. This is how math works. This is how football is supposed to work. I haven't seen a Texas Tech team like this since the days of Michael Leach. I think this might be the savior for those guys there. Don't know that they can beat Texas, but I think they can give them a hell of a fight. Texas did something I think is pretty smart. They didn't think their offense was running as efficiently as they could. They've got 2 highly talented, highly recruited quarterbacks on the roster, and they made a change. You're going to make a change the week that you play a team like Rice. It's a good thing. You can bring Casey Thompson in. You can get him some reps. You can get him comfortable with the offense, and you can say, son, the game is yours. This is going to be a different test. This Raiders team is just a lot better defensively than what he's seen so far, obviously, against Rice. And I think they're going to give him some fits. I may be wrong. I think this is still going to be a high-scoring game. Texas Tech can score. I haven't seen a lot of defense out of Texas against decent opponents. Texas laying 8. The total 61. I think I'd take the Red Raiders and the points. I think I'd take the over in this game as well. Those are the big games. That's what I got. We're going to move on. We're going to rapid fire the next 5. West by God, Virginia is going to Oklahoma, and Oklahoma they're winning games, but I feel like they're the loser of all of these games because the expectation was so high. If they don't play at their best this weekend, they will get a loss. This will not be a moral defeat. This will be an actual defeat. This is a big number. 16.5. West Virginia, I think, is going to cover this. I trust Neil Brown. I think he's a better quarterback, a better coach. And maybe not a better coach than Lincoln Riley. That's a little hyperbole and extreme. That's the hate going too far. Oklahoma's got to figure out what the hell's wrong with them and see if they can stop some bleeding. Now, I've said this about Notre Dame. I've said this about other teams. I'll say it about Oklahoma. It's good to have these problems while you're still winning. That's a good thing to have. At some point in time, you're going to play somebody where if you don't have it worked out, it's going to be an issue. I think Neil Brown's the kind of coach that if you come in and you make a lot of mistakes, if Spencer Rattler's not on his game, then I think Neil Brown and his West Virginia team might be the team that can come out and snake bite you. Now, I don't think they're going to win the game. 16.5 points is the total. That's too many points. Give me West Virginia. I went way too long on that rapid fire. We're going to go much faster. Next one, Oregon hosting Arizona. Line's 28.5. It's a big, big number. I made 2 notes. I made 1 note about Arizona, okay, which led me to make only 1 note necessary for Oregon. Arizona not good at football. They're just not. Oregon, pretty good at football. Lay the points. Take the Ducks. They're going to kill them. Next game. Washington State at Utah. This is the one game that I had more frustration with than any of them looking at. Utah is laying 14 points. Now, Utah's lost 2 games in a row. A lot of people thought they'd win those games. I thought they could lose them. I bet them to lose them. They did lose them. It's the first game Utah's getting to go home after those 2 losses. I think that's going to be a good thing for them. I think they need to get home. They need a crowd behind them. They need to feel pretty good about themselves. Corey Brewer decided he got benched at the San Diego State game. Got benched, transferred out. He's not coming back. Okay. I think this is what they need to gel. Now the problem is I think they've got a feisty, not a good, but a feisty Washington State team. Now this Washington State team, Nick Rolovich pissed me off last weekend. Okay. Just hurt my feelings, offended me completely. All right. They get up on USC 14-0. And then they presents to get 45 unanswered dropped on them. Where'd the offense go, Rolo? What happened? Why did we stop taking the ball deep? Why did we stop just slashing them to pieces? I don't know. I'm not smart as he is. He just let me down. If I had to make a pick on this one, I'm laying these 14 points. At some point in time, Utah is going to be pissed off. They got enough pride. They're well coached enough to where I think they're going to kick the shit out of somebody. And sadly, it's going to be my Nick Rolovich coached Washington State Cougars. Colorado's going to Arizona State. Arizona State has played pretty good defense throughout the first of the season. So far, they got beat by a much better BYU team. Bigger, stronger, more physical. Didn't think that was going to matter. I thought their speed could outrun the strength. It didn't. Colorado is struggling to put the ball in the end zone. Hell, they've struggled to put the ball through the uprights. Lay the points. It's 14.5. It's a big number. I don't like laying this number in conference. I'm going to lay the 14.5. I don't like it. 45 is the total. That's the play. I do like the under in that. Take that. Next game up, UCLA going to Stanford. Stanford's feeling pretty good about themselves. See, they beat up on a USC team that we really didn't know what in the hell was going on. And then they went down to Vanderbilt, Nashville, pretty nice place. And they kicked the crap out of them. And now they're kind of feeling a little chesty. And they're feeling pretty good about themselves. And you got a red-assed Chip Kelly coming into your house. And I think UCLA is going to lay the wood. I think they're going to take out a lot of frustrations from that loss in Fresno State last weekend. They're laying 4.5. This is not one of those situations where home field advantage is going to matter. The Stanford Cardinal student section and home field advantage will not be rocking. I can assure you of that. So I like UCLA in that game. Guys, I went 4-4 maybe first week. We didn't pick that many games. There wasn't that many. I 4-2. That's it. That's how math works. Pick 6 games. Then I went 2-3, and then I went 2-3, and then I went 1-4. 1-4. 1-4 is damned pathetic. Okay, we're getting off that schneid. I'm giving you 5 winners this weekend, guys, just free of charge. Didn't cost you nothing. All I'm going to ask you, hit the like button, you share the video out, maybe have some comments, say some nice things about me, make me feel better about myself. If you disagree with my picks, I don't know. Good luck to you then, because these are all winners. I'm going Thursday night, Marshall at App State. Told you in the opening line show I thought it was too many points. I think it's too many points, plus 7. Give me those points. App State's a good team. Marshall is a good team as well. I think this is an overreaction to them losing to East Carolina. They're not that bad. Next game, Boise State struggling a little bit, trying to find themselves out in the wilderness out there in the prairie. Boise State is going to Utah State. Ooh, Utah State is sneaky. Utah State is sleepy. Utah State is fiery. Utah State is catching 9.5 at home. This is a team that you don't want to lay points to them at home, brother. They are going to have a shot to win this game. This is going to be starred for my Saturday underdog special. Utah State had a chance to win the game. I'm absolutely taking these 9.5 points. NC State, if you watched the opening line show, you know the answer to this question. NC State catching 10 points against Clemson at home. I think the Red Wolves will be rocking. They smell blood in the water. We haven't seen Clemson look beatable at all in like 5 years, okay? And now they don't look great. Still good, don't look great. They're struggling to score the football. And I think this North Carolina State team is going to try to capitalize on that. I don't know that they can win the game, but if I get 10-point head start, I'm going to take the points. I think NC State's got a shot to take off the upset. I gave you earlier UCLA. UCLA plus minus 4.5 at Stanford. I think UCLA gets right. Fresno State is a much better football team than Stanford is. They just are. I don't think UCLA was prepared for it. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Bye weeks don't help college kids as much as you think they do, okay? When you give college kids a week off, it ain't a good thing, okay? These guys are used to structure, and when they get time off, they get to go wild. UCLA, LA is a nice place to be off for a week. And it's a really good place to be off for a week after you beat a big-time national opponent like LSU. You get to star Tinseltown for a couple of days, and you get to enjoying yourselves, and Fresno State comes into town, and it's just instant humility. This week, there is no feeling yourself. It is just get back to the grind. You go up to Stanford, you kick the crap out of a bunch of smart kids, and you come home. That's going to happen. Last game up. This one scares me. Last week, the only game I won, I stepped in front of a freight train. I think I'm going to step in front of a train now. You guys might not see this team as a train. I do. I like them a lot. I think Florida's a really good football team. I think 20 points is just too many points, guys. I think it's too many points. I think Heupel has this offense rolling. I do think they've got a chance to backdoor this thing and or just to kind of keep it close the whole game. This one I might be totally off on. I'm a little bit biased as I like Heupel a lot and I love Hooker. And so I know that. And I'm telling you that. Hear me. That's a little bit of a biases, but it's also a lot of points for an SEC matchup where two teams don't like each other. We're not going 1-4 this week. I guarantee you that. I don't know how to do that, but I'm telling you, this ain't going 1-4. I appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much. The best 30 minutes of my week will be Saturday afternoon. It's not Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning. Live right here, SBR, on this channel. Check it out. Come on to YouTube. Join me. Spend 30 minutes. We'll talk some football right before we sit and watch a bunch of football. But after that, it's game time. Then we're on to the next week. I appreciate y'all joining me tonight. Thank you so much for sportsbookreview.com. I'm going to get the hell out of here. My name is Christopher Giannini. Have a good night.